probably the coolest thing ever. The people there are amazing. They even show you how to cast spells.
It's absolutely brilliant. It's unbelievable.
No, he's okay.
It is alright. Hello and welcome to another episode of Shots Fired. Today we're going to be talking about fantastic beasts and where to find them. So George,
Yeah.
how do you find fantastic beasts?
I don't know.
We're going to recapture my creatures before they get hurt. They're currently in alien terrain, surrounded by millions of the most vicious creatures on the planet. Humans.
Magical beasts are terrorizing no-mages. When no-mages are afraid, they attack.
But what was this film actually about though?
If I could, I'd like to ask the writer because maybe he could tell me. But then again, maybe she no.
could tell you.
She
J.K.
J.K.
Rowling.
She didn't write the script though, did she? She didn't write the.
She did.
Did she?
Yeah. She wrote the script.
She wrote the screenplay for this.
What the film is about is this sort of a naturalist. He's like a naturalist, isn't it? For fantastical mystical beasts. This Eddie Redmayne guy. He goes to New York because he's in search of this sort of like magnificent sort of bird thing creature. And he's trying to track one down, but he gets into New York. He ends up sort of misplacing his briefcase. The other fella, and they do the whole kind of cliche. Accidentally bump into each other, swap the suitcase, whole shtick. What's the character called? Jake Gorski, yeah. So Jake Gorski is just a regular Joe. He takes the briefcase full of magnificent, fantastic beasts. He opens it up by accident and reaches them upon the city, and plot meanders from there.
Should we get into our first big criticism? We've already touched on it.
Yeah, this plot meanders and it does
Yeah.
affect the pacing quite a bit.
Absolutely.
Because it introduces a lot of plot threads, but they don't really converge until like later on in the
It's
film.
like the film sort of starts off as, okay, this is just going to be lots of shenanigans, lots of, a creature's jumped out of my briefcase and it's stealing jewellery, which to be fair was really funny. I thought it was quite cute how, the physical comedy there was spot on, to be fair. Yeah, you thought it'd be like a kind of simple, okay, we've got to find this creature, And at first I thought, okay, this is going to be a bit dull, but whatever, it could be interesting, different set pieces. But then there's a lot of points where it's not doing that, and it just really kind of schlumps, doesn't it? It's just like, ugh. I think the narrative structure.
The problem
it just didn't have any of that.
It doesn't have a sense of urgency, and when you have these plots that are introduced, and you're thinking, okay, what has this got to do with the main arc? And eventually it does converge, but because they take so much time with each individual subplot that's unfolding, it does take a while to get going and actually
it just feels a bit
come
scattered
together in a meaningful way.
It did feel like there was maybe a lot of sort of waste they could have just kind of cut out.
Yeah, they could have easily trimmed a good 10 to 15 minutes off this film and it would have been much better paced. So
so let's say two shots for an unfocused plot and also the not great pacing either. So pacing aside, this film actually wasn't all that bad. To be fair, there was a lot of things in this film that I actually enjoyed. I really liked Eddie Redmayne's character. I liked the fact that he was this naturalist. He was like a sort of Attenborough type. He had the character definitely conveyed his passion for these fantastic beasts. And I also like the fact that they set up the American ministry. He's like kind of very like environmentalist lefty about it because the Americans are very fascist and they're trying to get rid of the sort of the fantastic beasts, and even their methods of doing it, they don't just ship them away, they exterminate them. And I thought that sort of premise had really good potential actually, and it also been like an environmental message as well, which would have been nice.
Yeah, I really liked all the characters. I thought they were all really well fleshed out. They felt they were memorable.
Yeah, each character was definitely different.
They were on par with the cast of the original series.
He was a good straight man as well.
Yeah.
That Kalowski. Is it Kalowski?
Yeah.
Yeah, his character was just a good straight sort of foil for Eddie Redmayne's kind of Mr. Bean-esque sort of mumbling about. Let's say Jupiter Ascending is 100% Redmayne.
I create life! How dare you! How dare you! Create life! I create life!
And let's just say, you know, I don't know, My Week with Marilyn is kind of at the lower end, 10% Redmayne. How much percentage of Redmayne would you say is in this film?
Well, Redmayne did not do that much Redmayning.
I'd give it about 50%, because he's a bit of a buffoon still. He's very Mr. Bean, sort of Lee Evans kind of bumbling, British fool. I think it's kind of 50% Redmayne, but there's some scenes where he's like imitating, he's sort of like coaxing the beasts, isn't he? He's sort of like imitating them. I think he goes, I'd say about 78% Redmayne at that point.
The creature designs, they were all really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool looking.
Yeah, especially there's like a snake bird thing. That was pretty cool. I love that kind of the main bird, which is kind of like the focus of, well, it's the reason of why he's in New York in the first place. That big bird was really cool. I like that.
It reminded me of a Pokemon.
Which one? Pidgeot?
Not Pidgeot.
Moltres, Zapdos, Articuno. Ho-Oh.
I don't know what any of those things are.
Ho-Oh. And it's all kind of working towards this lore building, which I think, you know, Rowling does really, really well.
But enough of this arse looking, let's get into some bullshit.
Okay.
Basically, this Jacob Kowalski character, his whole arc is that he's kind of...
The Muggle, yeah.
He's an underdog, yeah. Like, the whole idea of his arc is that a nomad or a Muggle can be useful. They can
reject
contribute.
The American terminology, man.
They can
British.
contribute,
It's Muggle.
Muggle. Muggle.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Go on.
Yeah, but the whole idea that a Muggle can contribute. Yeah. So when he gets to the final act, there's this scene where he has this moment where Newt is saying basically, right, you've got to stay behind. Like, this is some proper serious shit that's going down.
To be fair, the practicalities of it are the guy could just be killed like that.
Yeah, kill like that. Kill like that. So he has a reason.
Understandable.
He has a reason to stay behind. Yeah. So they go off, and then he's with his with this other character that he fancies, and she's saying, "No, you've got to stay here. I care about what happens to you." And he says, "No, I can do this. I can step up. I'm one of you now." Yeah.
And it cuts away. And it's like,
so what happens? We never see
Did they stay? Did they agree to stay?
Yeah.
Did they agree to stay? Did they go? And like you say, that was a theme that they could have really touched upon, about how the power of, just say, human spirit. I know it's a bit gay or whatever, a bit lame, but you could say the power of the human spirit. Like, you know.
Like, you think this guy is going to have his moment to really build up to that, but it never happens in this final act.
It's just like
this pivotal.
They sort of go near it.
Never appears.
They go near it, the theme, and they go, oh no.
And then he just shows up at the end out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like,
so
that was disappointing.
So that was a bit of like, you've touched on something that has great potential, and you don't do it.
So one shot for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quite simply put, after the big climax has happened, usually with a film you expect maybe about 5 minutes of just kind of like downtime, just let it all sink in. You know, you could do a Transformers 3 and just cut like that. Or the other extreme is you do Lord of the Rings,
Return of the King,
and you extend for about 30 minutes or something. Ridiculous.
It's like this, you know, you get this conflict, okay? And then a new conflict arises. And then that conflict is resolved. And then a new conflict arises.
Yeah.
And then that conflict is resolved. And then a new conflict arises.
The problem with this film is, again, I can go in. We'll go into more detail in spoilers, but the problem is there was a lot they had to cover within the last sort of end section of the film, last chapter of the film. So, what could have been wrapped up in 5 to 10 minutes is actually, it felt like sort of 15, 20 minutes. So yeah, I think a shot for just an overly long ending. It's like, okay, you know, the last flavour in our mind should be the big climax of a film, and then you just get a little bit of time to let it sink in and you finish. The fact is, it went on so long that the big climax isn't the flavour anymore.
Okay, so unfortunately, for the rest of the shit we're going to get into, we've got to start doing spoilers now.
Yeah, so from this point onwards, if you've not seen the film yet and you just want to get to our final conclusion, skip ahead to this time code. Okay.
What, this time code right here?
Yes, the spoilery time code.
Where did this come from? Like, it just materialised out of thin air.
It's incredible.
This is amazing. It's
the gods of spoilerdom.
It's the magic of
internet
review shows and whatnot.
There we go. So, Alex, I would like to essentially go through the events of what happens in the final act of the film, which, again, remember when earlier we said there was this great potential of a theme about the Muggle overcoming this magical sort of BS and actually doing something useful.
Yeah, that wasn't the only example of wasted potential, was there?
Very well put,
yeah.
That's it. So what happens is, it turns out that Colin Farrell is the big baddie, right? He's like the guy, he's the what's he called?
Yeah, Percival Graves.
Percival Graves, he's like Hitler.
Yeah, because you know, a man with a name like Percival Graves.
That's menacing.
Obviously, he's like going to be a stand-up guy.
So turns out that the guy who you obviously think is the main villain is the main villain, and what his quest has been all along is to find this potentially powerful wizard, because there's another concept that's introduced. Would you like to explain the concept of the obscurity?
Yeah, the idea is that there's this dark force that's born whenever a wizard is...
it's like suppressing. They're in the closet about being a wizard or a witch. Yeah, and that in itself is like a great kind of metaphor for like, you know, suppressing your emotions, I guess, which is kind of cool. I like how it translates to the wizarding world. It's like, well, forget your emotions. It's about suppressing your magic. Cool concept. Anyway, turns out that you're sort of beating over the head of this concept of, oh yeah, if anyone suppresses their magic, they won't even live to the age of 10 because it will just consume them, and they'll just become this destructive force, and eventually they'll just, you know, die, or it's not really explained what happens to them. Yeah. Either way, no one lives over the age of 10 if they're a suppressed wizard. And this Colin Farrell's going after this kid, this 10-year-old. He's trying to find him, but he has this kind of him.
We think
either way. But then he has this sort of snivelling kind of he's a bit special, isn't he? He's a bit He's been abused, like he's been seriously abused.
Yeah, the guy's name's Credence.
He's been abused by
Credence Clearwater Revival.
Yeah, his mum's like a proper like Baptist, and she beats this kid, what's he called?
Credence.
He beats Credence, and he, you know, you sort of feel sorry for the kid, and Colin Farrell's kind of using him to find this person. But then it's quite obvious that Credence really is
the Obscurus.
Is this monster,
is powerful.
It's so obvious
thing that they're looking for.
And before we go any further, I think that's just worth a shot, because of the cliche of Colin Farrell is clearly the main villain, and Credence is clearly the obscurity. For me, that's a shot.
You say that's worth a shot, but I personally don't think it is. It's just sort of, it's not necessarily great. It's more of a sort of an inconvenience. It's the story they're trying to tell. And I think that's just kind of an inconvenience.
What happens at the end is this all-powerful kid becomes this sort of giant sort of gas monster, and Colin Farrell, he wants to coax him and say, no, you should you know join me with the dark side of the force, because he turns out that Colin Farrell's like we said, he's like the Nazi wizard guy. He's like, no, join us, join the dark side. And you got Eddie Redmayne who turns up. He's like, no, you don't have to be a bad guy. We can bring you in, and we can look after you, we can protect you. And then you've got this third party, the bloody fascist wizard. Yeah, the America.
The Magical Congress.
That's it, the Magical Congress.
Magical Congress.
And they come in and they're just like, nah, fuck him, and they just kill him. They just kill the character, which is
very abrupt as well.
Really, but it's a really sort of emotional moment. It reminded me of when in King Kong, when he gets shot down by just like all the kind of the people who are trying to protect the public. The imagery is like really powerful, and it's, you know, rather than with Tommy guns like shooting them, and it's, funnily enough, it's the same era as well. It's actually like, you know, they're sort of spell casting. It's like destroying this kid, and Eddie Redmayne's just going, no, don't do it, you know, because he's a human. So there's the way that they could have taken it, and the way that they did take it. And what happens is he and Eddie Redmayne have they're sort of in agreement with the moral conduct of this society of wizards. So,
and they're both trying to save this kid.
And they're both trying to save the kid, but they both agree that and Eddie Redmayne, he's already said that they're a bunch of fascists because they don't allow muggles and wizards to marry. They want to kill all the beasts. And at some point in the film they try to kill them in it as well. So they are like full-on fascists. Like, they're terrible, terrible organisation. They both have this sort of common enemy. And what that happens then is Colin Farrell says, "Screw you guys, I'm going home." So he tries to do that, and then the ministry for no reason goes, "Oh no, you can't go home. You can't leave us. Whatever." So he turns around, tries to attack them, and Eddie Redmayne helps in his capture. This organisation that from the start he said are bullshit, that he have tried to kill him, and that have just killed this sort of innocent kid. So I just didn't see how that works. What should have happened was Colin Farrell turns around and goes, "Right, I don't like you guys, I'm going to escape, I'm going to leave." And then he tries to leave, and either Eddie Redmayne helps him leave, or he just stands by and he goes anyway.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Newt and Percival had the same goal. They wanted to save this kid for entirely different reasons.
Yeah.
Like, Percival wanted to weaponise this kid, but
they wanted to save him.
But they had the same goal. If there had been that kind of alliance, that would have been more interesting going forward, because obviously this character is going to be back in future films.
That's it.
So that connection would have actually been more interesting.
But either way, what happens in the actual film is Colin Farrell just sort of defends himself against the others as he approaches them, and he just Eddie Redmayne just sort of goes along with the ministry, and then at the end they sort of shake hands over it. And for me, that was such a missed opportunity. You could have made out that the ministry were the fascists all along, because they were. Like, all the evidence said they were. You could have made out that they were the bad guys, and it was just a complete opportunity missed, and it was just not consistent with the characters. Instead, they've gone with what was easy. What was easy to write? Well, it's easy to make out that Colin Farrell is the bad guy. It's easy to do that.
Fuck you, you're the bad guy. Storybook ending, there we go.
Yeah.
All wrapped up nice and tight, and that's worth a shot.
Obviously that was like the big thematical flaw with the film.
But first, a little bit of background. At the start of the film, we learn there's this evil wizard called Grindelwald who's causing a lot of shit. And people keep saying, "Oh, we've got to watch out for Grindelwald.
Yeah.
He's a naughty boy."
He's like full on Magneto.
He doesn't actually have much presence throughout the film, because he feels kind of very shoehorned in. There's literally one reference to him in the newspapers. Yeah.
The odd
and
reference
they keep mentioning him because remember this guy because he's going to be important later.
It was like first scene, which is pretty badass to be fair.
Yeah.
Just wizards get killed.
Yeah.
The first scene, that was cool.
That was.
And it just shows like a guy with blonde hair, and I was like, "Oh, it's Colin Farrell." I was like, I've seen the trailer. It's clearly Colin Farrell. He just put a bit of bleach in his hair. You thought I had black hair? I have blonde hair.
Oh my god.
It's him!
To be fair, if only it was that. Okay, alright, look.
So what actually happens, Alex?
Okay.
Tell the people what happens.
No, it's not Colin Farrell, it's actually Johnny Depp.
It's actually Johnny Depp. He flicks his wrist, Eddie Redmayne, and it turns out that Colin Farrell it's not that he's changed his hair colour, it turns out he's Johnny Depp. It just takes you out of the film. It's like, why couldn't they have just dyed Colin Farrell's hair blonde? Because no one's seen Griswold. No one knows what he looks like. Yeah. Why couldn't he just flick his wrist and go, "Oh, actually, he's got blonde hair"? No, he's Johnny Depp. That's the answer. He's Johnny Depp. So stupid. Just so retarded. It's just,
they actually had the music. It swells as though this is supposed to be some epic twist. But you know what? For most people, for the casual viewer, they will have no idea what's just happened. What the fuck? It's just Johnny Depp.
And he's got a shit tash as well. What's with the shit tash?
I don't know. It's like
I'm not saying mine's great, but like it's just weird. He just looks weird. He's got like one eye. I think they tried to do like David Bowie thing where like one eye's a bit different than the other. It's just like I'm not kidding. In the cinema, I burst out laughing, didn't I?
I heard you. Yes.
Colin Farrell's a bad man. Just have him as the villain.
I know, he's a great actor. He's a bad man in this. Why just completely erase
Tell you what,
everything
easiest check
he's
that
about?
Easiest check that Johnny Depp has had to pick up.
Yeah.
Easiest check that though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, for such a terrible reveal.
Yeah. So, can we get to the final verdict already, or do you have any
No,
more
I've got
questions?
one more point.
Oh, come
Jake
on!
Kowalski, the straight man. Well, we were talking about how like the ending of the film was dragged out. What actually happens is they say to Jake Kowalski, "Oh, you're a muggle. You can't remember
That's
any of
racist.
this." So therefore, it is racist. So therefore, they do that sort of Kenneth Branagh sort of like memory wipe.
Yeah.
And what's it called? Oblivion?
Obliviate.
Obliviate. They've got to do that on him so that he forgets it all.
Yeah.
So at the end of the film, magic rain.
That wipes everyone's memory.
Wipes everyone's memory. And then, like, that's the route they go down. They could have just said, hey, why don't you just step in the briefcase and we'll smuggle you out of the, you know, where we are, and then you can keep your memory.
Well, this magical agency, Congress, whatever, that was presented to me.
The fascists.
The fascists.
The fascists that they didn't
there is,
actually explain were, they didn't sort of fully go to
There is, I believe that there is some way they could have known. And I believe the punishment for them not obliviating him would have been very harsh.
But Alex,
so I think
doing the rightest job for them.
George, I get what you're saying.
But that's a massive plot hole, and she's got ridiculous
not an issue
amount
for
of
me. I feel like it was justified. And I promise you, it has nothing to do with the fact that I was out last night and I'm a bit rough around the edges.
She can't be asked.
I don't want to.
She can't be asked something any more to drink.
No, I'm being very, very, very objective. So George,
yeah,
what is your verdict?
My verdict is
on adequately impressive beasts and how to find them. In all fairness, George, we've shat on this film quite a lot. We have.
It's written poorly. Despite that,
would you say it's worth going out in a world where it's either worth watching or it isn't worth watching? Would you say it's worth going out to the pictures and watching?
I would say if it's still out over Christmas, you might have a good time as a family, just because there's elements that are fun, like the little sort of hedgehoggy creature that like hoards jewellery. I was like, he's cool. There's some pretty cool stuff there. I'd say, I don't know, maybe watch it, maybe don't. But I'm gonna have to say it's a 4 out of 5 on the inebriameter.
4 out of 5.
It's pretty bad.
That's harsh.
It's pretty bad.
That's
But the film made me do that. What I'd say is the general concept is fine, the characters are fine, but when you actually get down to the writing, it's not well written, but it's an interesting show.
I would say I'm at a 3 out of 5. I'm not buzzed because I see what you're saying, I do, but I think I enjoyed it more than I didn't enjoy it.
Nah, for me, it's made a bit of a state of me. So for that reason, I have to judge it accordingly.
Yeah, I can tell.
Don't panic, but there's absolutely nothing to worry about.
Alex, look what I found.
What the fuck? Why have you been keeping that all this time?
Up your what's it? Let's go. You ready?
Yeah? Yeah?